Hi everyone, this is DMVButterfly. I started posting on YouTube again to document my 2023 weight loss journey. And I haven't posted my weight since maybe the end of February. But in this video, I will update you regarding why that is. Number one, I've been under the weather, and I will talk about that. I did speak briefly in one video to say that I was having a procedure done in the hospital, which turned out being a procedure done in my doctor's office, which is in the hospital, but I did not have to go into the operating room. So that was a blessing. So I'll update you about that. After the procedure, I had some complications. So I will talk about that as well. However, I do recognize that I am still on a weight loss journey, and it is still my goal to have significant weight loss this year. So I have still been working out when I have the energy, and I will talk more about that because my energy has increased and I'm back to regular workouts. But as I said, I hadn't weighed in since about February. So for the entire month of March and most of April, I was not working out at all. And I did regain some weight, and I will talk about that. And I will start my official weekly weigh-ins again next Sunday. Today is the 7th, so I'll start my weekly weigh-ins again next Sunday on the 14th. In the meantime, I do work out sometimes, and you will see that in the video that I'm about to show you. Because I have footage of videos that I have taped, I just haven't posted and edited them. So you'll see a bit of that now. In fact, I'm going to do a brief introduction, and then, I'm wearing a bracelet and a beaded bracelet that I made myself, and it just popped. So it kind of startled me because the beads were rolling all around my wrist. So I'm going to post a video first to show you guys that I have been posting, right? So the first video footage that I will show you is from 2 weeks ago when I was on a work trip in Miami. So I'm going to do a brief intro, and then I'll go right into that video, and then I'll be back. Stay tuned. Hey to all of my subscribers who've been with me for some time. I appreciate you. And to my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining. And I know that I have not been posting long form content, but I am posting today. So let's get it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some footage from me a couple of weeks ago. I was on work travel, and I was getting some exercise in. So let's take a look at that, and then I'll talk more about what was going on in terms of my procedure I had to have. So I'm on work travel in Miami every other week. I'm here. This is my hotel room. I actually love this hotel, but I would prefer not to stay here because the hotel is on South Beach. Nothing wrong with it if you like South Beach. I just prefer not to be on South Beach. However, we are required to book our travel through my job's global Amex website. And they've taken a lot of the hotels off of our website. And it's not just people in my company or in my industry that say it, it's other people as well. So again, there's the beach right across the street. So there's nothing wrong with the hotel, nothing wrong with the location. Me personally, I prefer not to be on South Beach. Good morning. I am in Miami, and I am on Ocean Drive, not far from my hotel. So I have not walked far, but I'm going to get 2 miles in this morning. I did make a rule for myself that when I'm at the beach, I have to get in at least 2 miles before I can relax on the beach. So I want to get it out of the way this morning so that when I get off of work this evening, I can go straight to the beach and enjoy. This may not be my only walking for today or exercise for today, but for right now, this is how I'm going to get it started. So I'll check in with everyone later today. I know you guys can't see them, but this is crazy. The 3 green birds that I filmed yesterday at around 7 p.m. are now out this morning, and it's around maybe 6 30. That's crazy. Hey, babies. Good morning. Yes. So I'm back in the hotel room. I walked in a pair of plastic Birkenstocks. So this is pretty good for me to have burned. I am on the beach in Miami, and I was trying to walk with a lot of intention without stopping. But of course, some of the scenes in Miami took my attention away. So that's my morning. Okay, so let's chat about what's been going on with me. So someone asked me yesterday how old I am, and I am 52 years old. I will be 53 in June. So my body is not going through menopause, right? So I went to see, for my regular annual checkup, I went to see my gynecologist in January of this year. I had not been in 2 years, right? Very briefly, the reason I hadn't been in 2 years was because, number one, it was I hadn't been since 2020. So, I hadn't been since 2020. Of course we know COVID, but then also my aunt was sick. And with me traveling for work and trying to oversee my aunt's care or help my siblings oversee my aunt's care. And then my mom got sick. So, that was a whole long thing. My mom ended up coming to stay with me when she went on hospice, and she passed away in my where I live. And so, like, that was wonderful that I was able to take care of her during that time. But when I went to my gynecologist in 2020, with being a caregiver, you kind of forget to take about care of yourself, right? So my gynecologist told me in 2020, I had my annual, and she called me and she said my pap came back abnormal and I needed to come in so she can rerun it. I forgot. Who forgets that? Right? So when I called her this year, I said, I know I haven't been there in some time. She said, you should have come back in to get a pap. She said, I have it in my notes, right? So when I went into the office, she's been my gynecologist for a long time, and she is very good. She has a waiting list. People still so she was my gynecologist when I was in Philly. I lived in Philly for 28 years. I've been back in DC for a little over 4 years now. She's still my gynecologist. She still has patients that move to California that will come to California to go see her, right? She's also done a couple of procedures and surgery on me. So I like to stick with her. She is awesome. Many of her clients are the doctors at the hospital in Philadelphia. And even my primary care physician wants her to be her gynecologist, but she's on the waiting list. Like, she's awesome. So, long story short, I go to her in December, right? So I said January, but I went to her in December for my annual. I always do it around the same time of the year. I get my physical, my checkups, my dental exams. I do all of that, eye exams, December, January. So I always know that it's time for me to do it. When I went into the office, she was really upset, and she was like giving it to me because she known me for a long time. And she said, you should have come back. She said an abnormal pap could mean you have ovarian cancer. I already have endometriosis, so that means I have heavy, long, painful periods, right? So she had asked me in 2020 how often they come. And I said every 28 days, like clockwork. So she said, that's not necessarily good, and whatever. So she said, doesn't sound like you're going into menopause. So I went back, and now that's when I was 50. So now I'm about to be 53. She said, okay. She said, has your period stopped? And I said, no. And she said, are you kidding me? She said, how often do you get it? Do you miss month? No, it still comes every 28 days like clockwork, like I'm 16. So I stay on sometimes for 2 months at a time, right? So anyway, long story short, she's like, I need to do a procedure. She said, we're going to do the PAP. If the PAP comes back normal, that's good. But I still need to do some other testing to make sure you don't have ovarian, endometrial cancer or anything like that, right? So I had a little cancer scare. And the pap smear came back good. She called me. She was so excited, and I was excited as well. But she still wanted me to come in. And she said because the pap came back normal, I didn't have to go into the OR to have the procedure done. She could do the procedure in office. But one thing she said is that it's probably going to be, painful. So you could choose to go into the OR so I can put you to sleep. Baby, the way my copay is set up, that's several grand, $5,000. Let's do it in your office and I'll take whatever you can give me for the pain. I will be okay. Because my thing is, endometrial pain, if you have never had it before, is massive. I know it can vary per person, but mine is like almost debilitating. Like I would be calling her, like, send me a prescription for something. And I don't like to take medication. So if I take medication, like I'm on my last leg. So long story short, I had the procedure done. Everything went really well. My sister drove with me up to Philly, had the procedure done, stayed in the hotel, came back home the next day. A couple of days later, I woke up in the middle of the night, had to use the bathroom, but I was feeling kind of funny. And when I stood up, I felt like I was going to rock out and fall on the floor. Like I couldn't get my balance. I was dizzy. I was all over the place. And no, I wasn't having a hangover because I don't drink like that. So, and I knew I hadn't had anything to drink, but that's like the feeling. I was nauseous. I'm like, what is going on? The only reason I didn't fall is because beside my bed, I have a nightstand, and the nightstand is tall. Like it comes up above my hip. It's more like a chest, but it's a nightstand. So I like was getting ready to like fall, and my hand caught the nightstand, praise God, so I did not fall. Because if I had fallen and hit my head on that solid wood, like that could have been drama. So I made it to the bathroom, did all of that, and I'm just like, why am I dizzy like this? And I laid back down and I was able to go to sleep. It felt like motion sickness, or like I had been on a roller coaster or something. And so the next day I woke up and the feeling was worse. And of all times, I had to go to New York for work on the train. Long story short, I get on the train. I get up to New York. I tell so I work at different medical facilities, hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices. So I tell the staff there, I'm like, I had taken a bunch of COVID tests too. I had been, for that week, because I had to go to the doctor's office, all of that, I take COVID tests pretty often. And I'm like, is something wrong with me? But the COVID tests were coming back negative. And I even went and had like a formal one done, thinking maybe I'm not doing mine correctly at home. So it was none of that. I called my gynecologist and I said, hey, could this possibly be a result of what you did? And she was like, no way. Is that a part of it? Whatever. And I said, could this be part of menopause? Like, am I starting menopause finally? Whatever. She's like, no. So I go and the feeling lasts, oh my gosh, I was probably up into a month having, so I just knew it was like vertigo or whatever. Just felt like everything around me was moving all the time. It took about 3 weeks before it got better, and then 4 weeks before it totally went away. So as most people know, and I talk about it all the time, I travel for work and I travel every week. It was miserable just trying to work. Like, so when you already feel nauseous and wheezy and having vertigo and you have to get on a plane. But thankfully, like, my flights are only like an hour. The longest flight that I have is going to Miami, which is about an hour and a half to an hour and 50 minutes, depending on the winds and the pilot and the air traffic and all of that. So I was managing. But by the time I either got to my destination or got back home, I was drained because I was using all of my energy just to do that, lifting my luggage to put up on into the cargo bin, going to get the rental car. Like I was just worn out. So I would work, go back to the hotel, go to sleep. Um, I've been to two places during that time, which was Charleston, South Carolina, and Miami. So the most I would do was go to the beach and kind of relax. And as you just saw in that video that I just did, I made a rule in the beginning of the year. I don't go to the beach and sit down until I have walked or jogged, because I will, even before I got the wheeziness, I was jogging on the beach, not just walking. And so, it became difficult for me to do anything. And so I was so kind of upset. Like I'm starting this weight loss journey and I'm doing well. I lost like 12, 13 pounds or whatever. And now I'm sick. So, and not feeling well. So after a month, that went away. And then during that entire time, I've been getting my cycle. And then all of a sudden, I didn't get it. Right? So I'm just like, what in the world? I don't have my cycle, so I'm not having the pain and the heavy bleeding and all of that. But now I have vertigo. So that went away. When that went away, here she comes, right? So I'm on my cycle again. And I stay on April for a long time, but it wasn't heavy. It was just like spotting, right? So then I was feeling drained, right? So my doctor said, you're probably anemic. The gynecologist said, because I'm calling her. And she's like, you probably anemic or whatever. I was like, I'm not anemic. I know exactly what I feel like when I am anemic. And I told her, I said, I'm not anemic. I can't possibly be anemic. She's like, why can't you be? Because I donated blood to the Red Cross. She was like, oh, no, then you're not anemic. You can't donate. They do a blood test right there before you donate. And if you're anemic, they don't let you give a donation. So she had me come in. She was like, I still want to do a blood test on you. So she sent me the orders to get one done. And I went and got it done down here in DC and, got her the results. And she said she doesn't know what that's coming from. I should see my primary care physician, right? So because I started to feel better, I didn't see the primary care physician. And then my cycle started again coming every 28 days. So with all of that, I now feel better. I have energy to work out. I have energy to cook, because during all of that time, I usually can only cook on the weekends, but I will also take food with me when I travel during the week. But I didn't have the energy to cook. I would come home on the weekends and I would go to sleep, or because I'm about to relocate, I would try to pack some stuff or something like that. So, yeah, I'm getting better and I'm back in the pool. I'm back swimming. I started swimming again last weekend. So I go swimming on Saturday and Sunday, sometimes Fridays, depending on when I get back in town to my home base. So that is the reason why I had not been posting. I actually made a video to talk about this, but then because, I was coming home or coming back to the hotel after work and just getting in the bed, and I was just using all of my energy to keep work up because we're short staffed. I really didn't have the time to take off. And it wasn't like I needed to take off. I knew what was going on with my body. I just needed it to go away, right? So that's what I've been doing there. So now I'm going to talk about last week and what I've been doing now that I'm back into the gym, feeling better when I travel. I will show you some of last week and what I went through. Last week was a doozy. I'm going to be looking a little bit crazy in my video because my head was all over the place. It was so humid. It was kind of cool in Charleston last week, but it was so humid. So usually sometimes I'll wear just my hair natural in a little puff, afro puff, because I swim all the time. But last week, I had straightened my hair, but it was all over the place. So I will show you a bit of that footage to show you now that my complications with my endometriosis are over. I know I don't have cancer. Praise God. I have been, and now that I feel better and everything, I'm back to my weight loss journey, back to cooking, back to taking food with me when I travel, all of that. So take a look. This will include some recipes that I made during Cinco de Mayo. And it'll just kind of give a brief summary of my last week. You'll see my travels. You'll see when I arrived in at my destination and where I was. And you will also see some drama because I lost my car. So you guys take a look at how my week was last week. Okay, so yep, I am in Charleston and I arrived about 10 minutes ago. I'm in a rental car and on my way to my work site. I actually missed the exit that I needed to take for work. So it's gonna put me a little further behind, but God is good because guess what? The exit that I have to get off at, there is a Whole Foods. So when I'm doing my work travel, I do bring food with me from home, but I know that when I get here, most often
stay in the middle lane.
I have to purchase things when I get here. So I'm going to go to Whole Foods. I'm probably going to get some shrimp salad. I have some tortillas, carb balanced tortillas. I don't eat low carb, but I have an idea. Use the right lane
to take exit 23B onto Clements Ferry Road North.
I have an idea of what I want to have for an early dinner, and so I'm going to save my carbs for that. So yeah, I'm going to run
take
to
the
exit
store, then turn left to merge onto I-526 West.
And then go get lunch and do all of that shabazz. I'm going to get some fruit. I have a grapefruit with me that I bought from home, but that's the only fruit that I have. I don't want to eat that at the work site because that's just a little messy. So I'll get some apples or something like that.
At the light, use the left lane to merge onto I-526 West toward North Charleston.
To from the grocery store to see what I got and move on with my day. I'm in Charleston until today is Tuesday. I'm in Charleston until Thursday, and I'm going to leave Charleston and head to Greensboro, North Carolina before I head home. Take care of some personal things there, and y'all. All right, talk to you later. So I am doing a work travel grocery haul. I'm in Charleston for work. Just arrived. I did bring some carb balance tortillas with me by Mission, but I need to complete my lunch by purchasing some items. I got some buffalo chicken, pickles, and then I bought spring mix to go on it, as well as I have Honeycrisp apples. I'm going to have that on the side. I bought this in place of mayonnaise. I don't typically have this, but this is what I'm going to use today because it's only 35 calories for 2 tablespoons rather than have something more caloric. I also have in here a cucumber, and I'm going to make cucumbers, make them, slice them and have chips and dip with this avocado. But Walmart avocados are trash. Like, this should be giving some, and it looks like it's right, but it's not. So we're going to have to go to Whole Foods and get avocado. Okay, so now here comes the drama. I leave out of the grocery store. I know I'm laughing now, but it was not funny. I leave out of the grocery store, and I can't find a car. So I just got to Charleston, South Carolina for work, right? And I've been walking around this Walmart parking lot for about 5 minutes looking for my vehicle until I realized I'm in a rental car. Why am I looking for my car? And I'm in a rental. So I had to use the emergency button to find my car. Oh, the trials of work. Work travel. The trials of work travel. You guys. So I didn't even get frustrated or angry walking around the parking lot. I just thought, maybe I parked in a space that I shouldn't have. Maybe didn't recognize that I was in a handicapped space. Maybe didn't recognize that I was in employee parking. Sometimes they'll have a space for police officers. So I'm like, maybe they towed my car. So then finally, I reached in my pocket. I said, where's my car key? And I was like, I could hit the panic button or the emergency button. And finally, when I pulled the car key out of my pocket, and I realized this isn't my car key to my vehicle that I own. Girl, you in Charleston and you in the rental car. It took all of that. So, I am back to normal, and I guess my normal is forgetful. So anyway, that was kind of funny. So next up, I came out of the grocery store. I bought some items to last me for the week, right? Or to last me while I was on my work trip. So let me explain to you what happens in terms of how my food is paid for when I travel. Everything is paid for when I travel, including my food. I will either get reimbursed for food, which I've been at this particular job. Actually, I've been doing this job for, I've been in this industry and traveling for work for over 12 years. I've always been on per diem, which in the per diem, how that works not everybody knows, but how per diem works is they give you money for food every day. And how it works is that I don't have to turn in receipts. They give me the amount based on the city where I am. Certain cities cost more to eat there. So Charleston actually is a very costly city to eat in, and it goes by the government rate. How they do it in private industry, we still go by the rate that the government will give for a per diem. So in Charleston, I might get $79 a day, where if I go to someplace like maybe a smaller town in North Carolina or a smaller town in South Carolina, it may be $59 a day. But how it is, I do not turn in receipts for it. They just give me the money, right? So if Charleston is $79 a day, every day that I'm gone, they give me $79. Now, I may be able to eat for $20. And then the rest of it just goes into my reimbursement account for work, and they give it to me just like a paycheck. They just deposit it in my bank account. But another way could be, I only worked on one project like this in 12 years where I actually had to turn in receipts for my food. So I would still get that same $79 a day, but I had to turn in receipts. So if I only ate $20 worth of food, they would reimburse me for $20. If I ate, $79, they would reimburse me for the $79. Let's say I went somewhere and I went all out, upscale restaurant, and I ate $85 worth of food. They're only going to reimburse me for $79. So that's how that works. So when I say in my videos that I don't pay for groceries, I really, my job puts that money in, and because I'm gone so many days in a week. So last week I left on Tuesday. I didn't go back home until Friday. So that's 5 days times $79 worth of food. And usually if I go to New York, I'm eating the entire thing most of the time. Like, I've been traveling so often for work, and I know some people are like, I get tired of eating out, and my body gets tired because I have swelling. I don't cook with a lot of salt. You'll see in this video, I will make some fajitas because that's what I ate over the weekend. So you'll see me do those. And when I make fajitas, I also make pico de gallo and guacamole. So with that, I do put salt in guacamole. I put a little bit of salt in the pico de gallo. And if I make like mashed cauliflower or mashed potatoes during the holiday. I'll put some salt in there. Stuff where I would taste it and like really need some salt in it. But otherwise, I use a ton of other spices and fresh herbs to flavor my food with, because I don't have high blood pressure or anything like that, and I don't want it. I had both my parents had, you know, high blood pressure issues with their hearts, stuff like that. I just don't want it. So I grew up not eating a lot of salt because they would monitor the sodium that they put in food when they cook. My parents did. So I do the same thing. And when I eat out at restaurants and I see my wrists are swollen, like my watch, I wear a watch or bracelets, and if I could see that they're snug, I already know, like, girl, get out of the restaurant, go to a grocery store, or even like go to a Subway or something like that, because Subway has deli meat, so that has sodium in it too. But go somewhere where I can get a lot of vegetables. Even the vegetables when I travel have a lot of sodium in them, so I'll make my vegetables, or I'll just get salad like I did. So like I did when I went to Walmart. So I'll show you what that looks like in my meals when I'm traveling. I'll actually prepare food from at home, take it and heat it up at the hotel to eat, or take it to my job site, heat it up there, and things like that. So in this video, you will see how I've been managing my food. So continue to watch and you'll see. This is a quick what's in my bag weight loss journey edition. So let's go. I am traveling for work and I'm going to show you what I bought from home first. So first we have what I made last night to bring here. I already ate a serving of it, and it is pasta. It's whole wheat pasta, and it has a sauce that I made using one large beefsteak tomato. I cooked that down and then added in some heavy cream, all of that, and that recipe will be on something else. But I had 3 servings of this. I ate 1 serving for dinner, and then I have 2 servings left. Next, I bought from home some fruit, and I have 1 grapefruit. I'm just going to eat half of it tomorrow with my breakfast and half of it later. And then I have a Granny Smith apple. A Granny Smith, it's Honeycrisp apple. And then I have Mission Carb Balance tortillas that I'll make lunch with. Along with that, I bought 1, 2, 3 packets of the tuna creations. I actually bought these last week when I was in Miami for work, right? So I have the ginger sesame, never tried this flavor. Herb garlic, never tried this. And then sweet and spicy, I have tried this one and it is great. So I had 3 of these tortillas in here. I had 1 today for lunch, but I did not use one of the tuna packets. And then from home, that's all I bought from home. All right, so I'll get into what I bought when I went to the grocery store here. So I bought this, and it is Boathouse Farms Cucumber Ranch, and it's a yogurt dressing and dip. It's only 35 calories for 2 tablespoons of this dressing, right? So this was about $3.87. I could have gotten something that was less expensive, but I'd like this because you have to keep it cold and it's fresher than buying, and it doesn't have all of the preservatives of purchasing some of the other dressings. I know I will not use this entire bottle because I'm only here 4 days, but I want to stay consistent with my weight loss journey. So this is what I purchased. And then also to go on the tortillas, I bought, this is just 0.35. So a little over a quarter of buffalo chicken from the deli. I don't typically eat deli meat because it has so much sodium in it, but I did get it this time because sandwiches are just really quick. So that's why I chose that. Didn't get cheese to go with it because I didn't want to spend my calories on cheese. And then I purchased spring mix. When I travel, and just in general, I like to get in a lot of greens vegetables every day. And so it's easy for me to do it with a spinach, spring mix, that sort of thing. So I can have this on a tortilla. I can have it next to eggs for breakfast in the morning. So this container will go a long way. I ate some of it today with my lunch. And then I have one more thing that I purchased when I got here, and these are these Hottie Bites, and they're pickles. I do have to caution about this particular brand. This bag is one serving. It's only 15 calories, so wonderful, great, doing good, but there are 660 grams of sodium in this. But there are about 9 pieces of pickle in here, or 9 slices of them, and they're kind of thick. As you can see on the picture, they're about this size. And so instead of having this as one serving, I just took 3 of the slices, right? So I'm going to divide this into 3 servings. So that's 220 milligrams of sodium, which is a lot for 3 little pieces of pickle. But boy, did it make a difference on my sandwich. When I ate my sandwiches, I added a Honeycrisp apple. And also from the hotel, I got Chobani off of the breakfast bar. So I finished working on Thursday, and then I drove to North Carolina. I am going to move to North Carolina very shortly, so I was checking out the homes and checking out my home. So yeah, I did that, and then I got on the plane and I flew home. So here are some scenes from my flight. I'm about to board the plane. The pilot better get it all right. Enjoy the journey, yes. So that's what I still call it. I'm old school DC, National Airport. Okay, so after I got back home, I went to the grocery store. Usually I'm only home on the weekends, so I picked up some food because I was really wanting this, having cravings for it. I wanted to make it at home rather than go out to eat. So please stay tuned to see what I fixed, and it includes 2 recipes, and they're only 60 seconds. One recipe is about 59 seconds. You'll see the entire recipe. The next one is about 45 seconds. And then the longer recipe, I'm going to post another video tomorrow, and it will have the entire recipe for the bigger part of the dish. All right, so stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. Again, to my subscribers that have been rocking with me for some time, and to all of you new subscribers, I'm so excited to have you tuning into my channel and as a part of my family here on YouTube. And some of you I talk to beyond YouTube. Some of you I'm on Zoom calls with. Some of you we're emailing, we're talking on the phone. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the friendships, the colleagues. I appreciate everything that's coming from my YouTube journey. So please stay tuned for how I spent my weekend in terms of nutrition. I also went swimming, so I'll try to include a little clip of that as well. So you guys stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow. I will post the long recipe tomorrow, but stay tuned so you can see the recipe. Thanks, you guys. See you later. Okay, guys, what I made over the weekend was fajitas. I love them. I had a taste for them, probably because of Cinco de Mayo. I made everything from scratch, including the guacamole and the pico de gallo. If you'd like to see more low-carb, low-calorie food recipes, please subscribe to my channel. So next, I have guacamole in 60 seconds and pico de gallo in about 45 seconds. So if you try these recipes, please comment below and let me know how you enjoyed them or if you enjoyed them. So I'll see you guys later. In this bowl, I have 1.5 avocados. I have red onion in the bowl, not white, but you can use white if you want. Red onions can be really pungent. I use jalapeno. You can use this to your liking in terms of spice level. I like a lot because I like it spicy. And then this is cilantro to your liking. There are tons of ways to make guacamole. You can put tomato in it. Like this is pico. You can put some pico in it. I've had it with crab meat. I put a generous portion of salt in it as well. That I didn't put in here on camera was lime juice. Mix it up and you've got guacamole. So the guacamole is now finished. It's all done. It's looking good. I got a spoon and I tasted it and it's tasting wonderfully. Here is my 60-second pico de gallo recipe. In this bowl are 2 Roma tomatoes that I diced, fresh cilantro, jalapenos that I diced small, white onions. The only seasoning I put in here was salt. Then I came in with fresh lime. The lime is here. When I press down on this, this has a spout on it. And then I pour my lime juice in, which I already have in here. Mix it up. You have fresh, healthy pico de gallo and give you a ton of flavor. Pico de gallo in 60 seconds. Let's go.